So Dan, what do you want to call this show?
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting poked, so poke the gorilla.
Oh yeah, you're the gorilla.
Yeah, I'm the gorilla. Yeah.
What's your gorilla today, Dan?
Oh, please. All right, I got a whole mess of gorillas
What
for you
isn't your
today.
gorilla
And here's
today?
here's what I've got on my mind. This is what grinds my gears.
Grind your gears.
Yes.
Somebody took that already. We can't
I know.
use that.
Yeah, you can't use that. No, look. Let's start with Amazon leaving. First of all, you started to see a little bit of life in this state from some of the larger companies coming in. We're paying through the nose to get some of these big companies in here. Now you got a company like Amazon that didn't cost us anything. They come in, they look around, go, nah, check please, I'm out of here, because they're in trouble here. They got a problem with truck tolls. They were trying to subvent that by bringing in freight by air, by rail. They were hiring the equivalent of Uber drivers were going to deliver this stuff, and now they realize they're going to end up getting whacked with truck tolls. By the way, do you know what the maximum is per truck per day?
What is the maximum?
It's $40.
$40.
So if you're a trucker, okay, an independent truck driver,
Yeah.
it could cost you as much. If you drive 5 days a week, it could cost you $200 a week
Yep.
for truck tolls. Yeah, good luck.
Well, yeah, I mean, it essentially costs the shippers that, right? You know,
Yeah, who does
unless
that
you're an
cost?
independent, you know,
Yeah, who does that cost?
I had family members that were independent truck drivers, so that
Yeah.
hits them.
Yeah.
And I don't know the state of that economy well enough to know how that's flowed. You know, whether it's more independent now, less independent now. Because you know that was the thing. I know both multiple uncles were truck drivers,
Right.
And you know a few of them owned their trucks,
Right.
So they would then, and I would imagine that these truck tolls, which is essentially the big problem here.
No, it's actually systematic. I mean, symptomatic of another.
Right. Well, yeah. It's
Yeah.
Right. It's symptomatic of more high level problems, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
will, in you know the Rhode Island leadership.
Zeitgeist. Yeah.
You know, zeitgeist gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't have any idea what it means.
I mean, I've seen the documentaries about zeitgeist. I understand kind of what it means, but it's too kind of broad of a term to use there. But no, just you know the concerns that I think that a lot of Rhode Islanders have with the direction the leadership in the state is going. You know, the truck tolls are symptomatic of that.
Look at this mess with that $24 million lawsuit that they lost.
Which one was that?
DHHS lost. 4 years ago, the state of Rhode Island put a temporary 1 year 2% hit on reimbursements to nursing homes from Medicaid. Well, that never went away. It was only supposed to be 1 year. They've continued it. So what happened was the Nursing Home Association got together and sued the state. So, okay, they lost. The state lost $24 million. Here's the kicker: the guy that was supposed to file the appeal missed. Didn't file the appeal for the state. Now they may have lost. Who knows? But he never filed the appeal. And then he was hiding emails and all sorts of stuff to cover his butt. And what does Gina Raimondo do? She disappears for a day. You know, she pulled a Chris Angel. See you later. And then she comes back and says, well, this won't be tolerated. I'm going to give it to the AG to investigate. What the hell are you investigating? Well, you talk about the state.
Well, no, as with many things, you know, I'm not as familiar with that specific piece of news. However, the way you describe it, was it related to the changes on the federal level with the ACA and whatnot and Medicaid?
No. State of Rhode Island controls the Medicaid money. The feds give you X number of dollars.
Yeah, but there was guidance from the ACA of how Medicaid money
potentially.
Yeah.
But the point is that, and you may very well be right.
Right.
But the point is, was supposed to be a 1 year 2% cut, 1 year, and they just kept going.
Well, Medicaid cuts are likely going to continue anyway. I mean, that's kind of the push right now of our federal leadership is to, you know,
and rightly so. The money's getting stolen. I mean, every time you turn around, you hear about another Medicaid scandal. Some doctors triple and quadruple billing something.
Well, yeah, actually, it's interesting you say that because I just read a book, not many reads, called Catastrophic Care. It was actually given to me by a doctor.
Yeah.
With a a Chamber of Commerce that I did up by where I live.
Yeah.
And it talked a lot about the incentive system behind how we pay for medical. And why that translates to, you know, poor management practices. Essentially, not poor management, good management practices for the purpose of generating revenue in the medical industry. The problem is how it's being paid for, and this isn't just Medicaid. this is Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance. I mean, with or without ACA, the problem exists.
Yep.
ACA ultimately just arguably made this problem worse because it increased the use of insurance as a payer for medical.
Right.
And you would appreciate this book because I think this would be along your lines. It basically talks about how we need to take insurance out, and we've talked about it, as the middleman of how we pay for medical. But it also talks about how we still need some sort of universal system whereby people can't, it's not just on your own to pay for medical.
No, I get that.
But it needs to be more, we decide how we pay for our medical.
That's why these clubs
as opposed
are popping
to,
up.
Either an insurance company, which doesn't seem to do any better job than Medicare or Medicaid. They all operate under the same set of principles.
Insurance companies, by design, are designed to take your money and pay zero. That's what they're designed to do. And that's why these medical membership clubs are popping up, Sean.
Right, and this is the answer, right? So this is a recent answer. It's a consumer response to what is arguably a broken system, a seriously flawed system, whatever you want to look at. As how do we take control back? As how do we take, instead of, because we've lost control to, I like to say insurance companies and then go. And I mean, like I say, it's interesting.
Lost control of government.
Well, true, but the private insurance companies aren't doing any better job.
No, they're having a party.
They're having the same thing, and I mean, actually, and it's interesting. You read it, and on average, insurance companies pocket about 20% of premiums. They don't pay out 0%.
Well,
that
hold
would be
on.
ridiculous.
Now hold on. Let's add something to that, okay? Because you can't forget the reserve. Okay, you get into a car accident and you rear-end some guy. They reserve $100,000. They'll pay out $6,000, but they reserve $100,000. So that $6,000 is the only thing that's counted towards 20% of the premium retention, not the $80,000 or the $94,000 that they reserve. That reserve is not taxed. That's why they do that, and they build up these big, huge piles of money, and they go buy stuff. They go buy, well, for example, I remember back in the '80s, Metropolitan Insurance bought the Chrysler Building. They paid cash because they didn't know what to do with it. But you know something? I got no problem with an insurance company making money. I got no problem with that.
No. I mean, there's a any business's incentive is going to be to make money, right?
Yeah.
But the question is paying insurance companies or any other administrative body that decides how to pay, is that creating more efficient medical treatment for the population?
The only way you're going to create medical efficiencies is to create the potential for profit. That's it.
The potential for profit's already there, though.
No, but what I mean is,
actually, the potential for profit is there more than any other industry.
But that's the only way that you're going to see anything grow, is because if they can make money, they'll go forward. If they can't, they'll stop. They'll stop.
Well, you could actually argue that the profit motive is not absent from the equation. It's more that this book that I read, and I should know the author if I'm going to talk about a book.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
Well, look at it. The argument is not so much that there's not profit. There's tons of profit to be made. The argument is that there's no check in the profit systems, meaning the consumer can't say, hey, do I really need these 5 tests? Or are you just running 5 tests on me because you can't make any more money than the insurance company or whoever says you can make on 1 test? So instead of ordering 1 test, I'll order 5 tests because that's how I increase my volume,
right.
As a provider.
Yeah, and also cover your butt in case of malpractice. But you know something? If you'll allow me, let me end it on this. All right? Anything the government touches turns to crap. So get the hell out. Get the hell out. Government needs to get out of private industry in general. In general.
Well, I mean, I would actually add to that.
Go ahead.
Private industry does not necessarily create the solutions in every circumstance.
True.
That we desire. The profit motive does not always produce the outcome we're looking for. It creates profit. That's the only incentive. And
it creates money.
It creates money. So however that happens, whether it's the way that consumers want to get their services or not, it's all dependent on how the money is structured. And that's why I say in this instance I think healthcare is a good example of how insurance companies, private industry, and government are both failing us. So I can't blame government completely when a private industry is doing just as bad.
All right. Well, I got a meeting, so I got to go.
Okay.
All right.